G'day punters, welcome to the Wild West, brought to you by Betfair Australia, betfair.com.au, jump on the hub, get all the smart stuff. Cripper, how's the battle been?
Terry, the battle's been just that at the moment. It seems like the month of July has been a bit of a roller coaster. Obviously the ups and downs, but the one good thing about a roller coaster is at least there's ups, not just like base jumping when it's only down. So as we saw, we'll talk about Saturday. We think we're both pretty keen on Red Can Man. And well, do you want to touch on that track bias?
No, not really. No, I'm sick of talking about the track bias. There's probably nothing worse in Perth at the moment than discussing the track bias. Like we want people wanting to probably have an opinion. We're probably meant to give an opinion on what the track's going to do on Saturday. But we raced at 12 metres last Saturday, and it was rail hot, as hot as you're going to get. You're seeing horses fall back the fence, get gaps run on. It was just the place to be. And then we moved it out 2 metres on Wednesday to 14 metres yesterday, and it's cold as ice. So I don't know what the track pattern's going to do. It's a horrible track. The 150 metre mark, there's a trench there. Yeah, it's not good.
Like you said, I reckon that rail bias on Saturday was probably one of the hottest I've ever seen, if not the hottest.
Number one.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like horses like My Hidden Journey settling 3 back the fence and placing in probably 200 to 1 on the fairway, and beating a horse like Levitate was enormous. So
we had a few profits. I were at the track out on Saturday. I couldn't actually really tell there was a bias at the time. So it looked like all the lanes were pretty well, but that's why we did the reviews.
And like we said on episode last week that if we get a track that suits Red Can Man over Cup Night, we'll bet up. And
the market knew too, didn't it?
Yeah,
Red Can was 270 into sub even. Cup Night was 4-5 out to 8-9 to 1. So the market does know when those things are going to happen, but the idea is to try and be a little bit smarter than the market at times, and I guess hold fire on. There's 1 or 2 runners we'll discuss later in the program, but there's I certainly want to hold fire on a couple of times.
I saw that the connections of Cup Night have stated that it'll be going for a spell because I didn't think it handles a soft going, but that's a little bit harsh because Cup Night's actually ran an absolute bolter. Held up, and then on the wrong part of the track it was a huge run, and if you got a day where it was swoopers, well, probably would have gone close. The other one who went huge was Pims Royale.
Pims Royale run of the day. I thought, big Luke Fernie. And Luke Fernie was probably best on off the ground as well for those playing. Luke, he's training a couple of really nice horses at the moment, but his stuff off the ground is probably his best work. So good stuff with Luke. All right, let's get stuck in.
Yep.
All right, this week's pattern, don't know.
Expect the unexpected.
I'm sick of even trying to figure out the pattern at the moment. So let's see how we go.
I'll just be happy with a fair track.
You want to race on the Kenzo? Can we get the fake stuff in horses in? What do you reckon? I don't know.
Alright, what are we covering?
Alright, let's get stuck in. We'll just target our main races we're keen on. Unsurprisingly, we'll probably skip the maiden to kick off the day. Isn't that a absolute rocker?
It's the one race I even had a quick look at the staying race this week, but I didn't. I didn't even do the maiden because I looked down the page and I saw 8 horses where I just said I cannot trust you. So
we'll skip straight to it. The Vale Harvey Crossman. Quick touch on Harvey. Was a tremendous racing man in WA as well. So good luck to Mindari in this one. I don't think he's going to have much success here, but good luck to the connections of Mindari, who Harvey was obviously a part of as well. So Daniel, I believe you're pretty keen.
Yes, I am. I'll quickly note that it's funny how obviously Saturday's the 1st of August, the new racing season. This race was if this race was ran one day earlier, I'll probably not even look at it because it's a 2-year-old, but all of a sudden because it's August 1st,
so for 1 day is going to change things?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's funny how
surely you'll realise that within 1 day they're going to turn the 2-year-olds.
What I'm saying is if it was the day earlier, I wouldn't have even looked at the race because it was a 2-year-old race.
Yeah, but it would have been effective.
I know, maybe I need to start looking at 2-year-olds a bit more. But anyway, so I did the form.
That's a good start. For a racing show, that's a really good start. I forgot to do that.
Alright, give me a speed map here.
Give me a speed map. Oh, well, I think that we're going to see a fair bit. I think Clairvoyance was scratched a week ago with a thrown shoe. So Clairvoyance led above benchmark on debut, went really well. Janora goes quick, Mindari only knows one way, both from the Jordan Yard. So I'm expecting to see those 3 really put the pressure on, and Pikey and Pans down will probably park in just behind them. What do you reckon?
I like that. So yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Clairvoyance. Her debut win was really good, but
It was tough, wasn't it?
I think Janora crosses her, which is the key to this race, because we've seen that she can lead and do it, but it'll be interesting. It's another kettle of fish to see how she goes in the box seat. And this
Different kettle of fish or another kettle of fish?
We'll go different.
Which one are we going?
We're here all day. We're going to start picking up
We will be.
So I think this race just looks like an absolute map moral for hands down.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have, like you said, the Paul Jordan pair setting pretty hot tempo. Clairvoyance box seats. Hands down gets the 1-1.
Pulls their pans down?
I think so.
Hands down?
He was. I really liked his debut run. Did a little bit wrong and sort of got skittled at. I think it was at the 900, but you just show that he's just got a motor, and the way he pulled clear from him late was pretty impressive. Trials were good. Pike sticks. Simon Miller's the
king of the kids.
The king of the kids, and the sprinting champ.
What'd you mark? What did you mark?
Some
even, I reckon.
No, 220. But but it's one of those ones with, like I've said time and time again, I don't find Pike as value very often, and I think there's 230 available at the moment. And while that's not a whole heap of meat on the bone, it's still meat on the bone. When I get Pike he's normally under my price. So when I see one of his runners that I like over, even if it's not by much, I'm pretty happy to play.
It just looks the winner on paper, doesn't it? Like I wanted to try and get this beaten, but it really does just look the winner. Matt should be going past them. My only, and it's not a knock, but my only look at that first up run, a horse called Excerpt came and took Janora on the entire way, took it on. Pike just sat behind him and got through it and won the race softly. But the horse, Janora's actually held on to run second. There might not have been much else in the race. It was a real gift victory, but he still did it extremely well. So just slightly aware if it's a gift victory coming up against a horse like Starfield Impact. It was obviously nearly an all-conquering 2-year-old, but maps well for Pikey on pans down. We want to be getting some at least doubling our money here though.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't never go into the shorts on a kid.
No, don't. We're not kids anymore.
No, they're not kids anymore.
They would have been done before.
Happy birthday all.
The X factor is Miller's other one, House Serenity, well supported on debut, huge run. Trial was really good. Yeah. The only thing, it looks like Chris Parham's elected to ride Clairvoyance, and I just think if Miller was planning on, maybe a sting where he knew he's
watch the money.
Yeah, watch the money, but I don't know if he was planning on that with Chloe would be on it. So happy to be with pans down in race 2.
I'm with you. Let's keep agreeing on things. That makes it really interesting. All right, not much interest in the staying race, guys. That's an absolute shocker. Race 4, Not To Miss looks hard to beat. I thought he peaked a bit, but I don't know if that's a race I really want to get involved in. Where's your next interest?
I'll go again. Moving on to race 6.
Race 6.
And I'm definitely in the Pike vortex at the moment. But he's got pretty much every favourite on the card, and this is the 2 that I was keen to get involved was race 2 and Dark Mission in race 6. His knockers will say that he had all favours on first up, which he probably did, but in saying that, he still was actually slowly away, which is pretty uncharacteristic of her. And she even then, even though she came up the inside, she still had to change directions in the straight to go around one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there was a bit of merit to that run.
Plato, put a spell on you, Frank.
Yeah, the form. How good was Plato yesterday?
I had a little bit of the early price when it was mid-2s and at the top of the straight. It got backed into a dot, something stupid.
Yeah,
so in the end, it was the right price. It won comfortably, but geez, on the turn, you didn't want to be on, did you?
I won back, wasn't it?
Well, I was under sufferance as well. I don't really do live in the run betting. I don't know if you get involved in that, do you?
No.
But I can only imagine it had to be trading at a price. I
it would have been good to watch.
60, so
I never watched
the
in-play betting because it tells you who's going to win the race about a few seconds on the TV does.
Plus the delay would go as well,
Yeah, so anyway, back to Dark Mission. So
where are you getting Dark Mission here, by the way? Are we getting our leaders back?
I think Apollo might even send the leaders back.
Through the fence, a bit of magic?
Yeah, or even just 1-1.
Oh, you think the wild ones?
I don't know. I'm not a...
You're leave it to Pikey?
I'm probably not as much of a speed map man as what you are. Just because I like doing, see how much speed's in the race and sort of where roughly they got to settle. But at the end of the day, jockeys do the form as well. And sometimes you'll see a race where there's not much speed, and all of a sudden there's 5 jockeys that want to go forward, and vice versa. So I reckon it's pretty hard to predict exactly where every horse is going to be in the run, but at the end of the day, he's drawn barrier 3. As long as he stepped really fast in his trial, she stepped really fast in a trial.
She stepped well in the past, a
Yeah.
few times last campaign.
Yeah, I think it was uncharacteristic. So
Yep,
if she can step cleanly, I reckon she'll be in the first 5 or 6. From there, like we always talk about with these Cerise and White, whatever she did first up, she's just going to improve lengths. And if you give her a length or 2 improvement on what she did first up, I've marked her clear favourite.
Yeah, what did you mark?
230, so
230,
260 around the traps. Again, another one of Pikey's that's gone up above my price, so I'll be getting involved.
Yeah, I've got her on top, but I'm just a little bit of trepidation. Again, just playing devil's advocate. The fact that she hasn't stepped up to the 14, I like to see them sort of progress up in June as they go with their campaigns, but I really did respect her win as well. It was a hot part of the track, but it takes a good horse to be able to pick up and sprint through the rail as well, and it takes quite a furnished horse to do that. If you take out her 2 runs when she got up to a journey, and she was just clearly a beaten horse, beating 11 Lonsdale and 12 Tuscan Queen, her record's 5 starts for 3 wins, a second and a third, and the second and the third she was probably a good thing beaten on both occasions. So she's probably, at the moment spoken about in inspirational girl category and those type of horses that are coming through, but she might be just as good potentially. So look, I'm not as keen unless I'm seeing, I want to see triple my money to get involved. Big price punter in that sense, as you know. But looks a cracking race. Rewrite the Stars is one that will probably creep out to a Betfair quite late each way, but we need to see them make ground, otherwise we're cooked. And we're not going to ground the point again on a dry track.
No, and I couldn't
The
find...
people that will ask me, we're not going again on a dry track.
And McGrady's obviously chosen Apollo, which I want to just touch on too. Apollo, massive run last start against the bias. I actually marked him, I couldn't find Rewrite the Stars. I marked Apollo second favourite, and what I'd never want to be, he doesn't win out of turn. So
well, my exact notes say, where have I got it? If he wasn't such a non, he would be second favourite.
And that's the thing, you're getting $3.50 plus a price.
I still don't trust him. Even the whole,
No,
I don't trust him.
I thought his run was
huge, yeah.
Great
On
best.
form and on map has to be in the finish. But
it's funny. I've almost found 2 bets in the same race, but you don't really want to be, because if you play Apollo to plays, but Dark Mission to win, it's hard.
You can really beat your ass.
You can, it's double trouble. But for those out there, if you're not keen on taking the sub 3s about Dark Mission, then I think Apollo to place at anything over $3 is good shopping. It doesn't win our turn, but we'll definitely give you a run for your money. And like we said, we'll be cock-a-hoo the drum.
Well, the last few we've been a bit stiff for that. We had around the points and military rule the last couple of weeks that have ran forward, so we're due for one of these to actually run a
double the pro for me last week. Was
the money came
13s into 8s, but I think Mitchie could have
20s into 4s, was it?
Mitch Payton could have high-fived us around the turn, but
he was keen to join us at the bar, I think, so we
popped off for the day. Probably got beat outside, but.
Alright, feature race of the day, Jockey Celebration Day. Well done to all the jockeys. Love their work every week. Not often actually, we often get quite upset at them, but we love the fact they put their health and safety on the line for our entertainment and our attempts at trying to make some money. 1,000 metre feature race of the day, really excited here. On a day where I'm pike. I've got Mervyn leading this at whatever pace he wants to. He's a horse we want to tick along. We definitely don't want to walk him. Spoke to Luke this morning, said he's still going along. But what did you have outside of Mervyn, and what did you have of Mervyn's back? Is this just as big a mapped winner as you've ever seen over 1,000 metres?
That's the thing, it's hard to find a horse that's got a breeze.
But it'll probably be a horse like Snow, Chino, Riverdance, Market Ruler, and those 3 horses are going to be the first beaten, I suspect, over 1,000 metres. So you're going to have the old roadblocks. Bang.
What about the Guns of Navarone, maybe? He was actually the one that beat Mervyn last time, wasn't he?
Yeah, I've got Guns of Navarone basically on the back of Mervyn.
Yeah.
I have a very, very obvious plan for this race. I've got Jericho Missile as, it's obviously the X Factor horse, but back to the 1,000, going back, really happy taking Jericho Missile on. The fact that it was $4.40 this morning, about $5 at the moment. Really happy taking him on. Essential Spice goes up 7 ratings points from that victory in the Bowfine, so he goes up 3.5. There's a 3 kilo swing with Mervyn, who gets the suitable map, drawn 10. Have to take on Essential Spice. I'd need a really good middle of the track to consider Essential Spice. I won't be considering.
I think Essential Spice I haven't actually done a Twitter lay for a while, but that might be if she.
Time to get involved, actually.
I know it's been a while, so
Yeah,
Essential Spice for all of you.
The confidence is a bit down at the
For all of
moment.
you,
I think.
so not at all. They've been on fire lately. But for all you pike nuffies out there, if you like Essential Spice, look me up on Twitter. And I might
look me up on Twitter.
Look me up on
Slide
Twitter.
into my DMs.
And I might give you a price better than what she
$4
currently is. Look,
That's
don't put me under the pump here.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
if it's
I
not
was gonna-
fours, it'll be
I
high
wanted to
three.
make you quote something that was untenable. But look, for me, I've marked Mervyn. I've marked this race a bit skewy, probably. I've marked it at 260, 270 type thing, which probably looks extremely thin, but you don't get a map like this. Mitch knows the horse well, rides the horse well. Luke Fernie loves it off the track. There's a lot going right here for Big Mervyn, really confident. If we see the on-pace bias, he's probably shorter than the 270. If the rail's cold, he's probably double the 270. So I don't think there'll be huge money for Mervyn early. There might not even be late because he's probably not as fashionable a runner as some of these. But the way I'm playing this race, this is my biggest investment race of the day. Probably one of my only investment races of the day. Will be a big play Mervyn around that 450, 440 mark. I've marked Floyd a clear second favourite at $4.50. Floyd's runs last campaign with Jerry Noski on were subhuman. Efforts around Valor Road in listed races, arguably a better run than Valor Road. Valor Road would be $1.50 in this type of thing. Would be basically be red odds, be very hard to beat. I think Floyd's a serious racehorse and one that's just slipped under the radar because people are looking at this as a listed race and not just a glorified 78 plus. It's an 84 plus. So at around $8 Floyd and around the $4.40 mark for Mervyn, that's an easy goal for me. Big go.
Yeah.
Kane.
I found this race pretty much impossible. Marked Floyd and Mervyn. I marked at $5 a field, but both of them on top. So I guess technically Floyd's the value, but to be honest, I'm not.
What'd you mark Mervyn?
$5.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Give me a shot.
Yeah.
Give me a shot.
I
I think a few people like Floyd, so we might see some money coming in. That'll be
Maybe
interesting.
up to
New training
might have to
partnership
have-
as well.
Yeah, might have something smaller, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, tough race. I had Guns of Navarone third pick, which just shows like I don't know. My market's probably wrong, but
That's a map. It's a map horse. It's the one I was going to say late if I'm seeing 25 to 1 on Betfair. I don't want to be losing on the race. So it sounds funny saying I'm going to back 3 horses in a 9-10 horse race. But at 25 to 1, when I say I don't want to lose, you don't have to. You can have next to nothing on that at 25 to 1. Just to chop out completely on the race. Not a profitable horse, but just a complete chop out on the race. So yeah, that was my thought process. Very keen.
yeah, fair enough. Can't with Mervyn, at least you'll get a
You
get a ripper sight for your money because you'll be ahead by 3 at the
You could probably
200.
trade out in the run.
Yeah.
Every single time you back him and you
Yeah.
trade out in the run. So the key is, though, Mitch, we don't want him to go too slowly. He has to bowl along. His strengths are to get them off the bit. And just because there's no real obvious speed in this race, we can't go below benchmark to the turn because I think they'll find him late. He's not always a big turn of foot, but he can sustain a nice 960 metres.
I think when you look back to that race on the 18th of April, I think Mitch had his time again. He would have gone a bit faster. He just held him back to the field a little bit too long, and that was when Guns and Navarone actually picked him up on the line. Which, I think I was on Mervyn that day, so not ideal. But
Luke's the handlebars down, man.
Yeah, exactly. No,
we'll be instructing in the handlebars as we go down.
as long as you're happy to make a mistake, as long as you learn from it, then
Exactly right. What they say, do it once, shame on me, do it twice.
yeah.
Shame on you. I think I got that the wrong way around. Anyway, let's move on. All right, race 8 over the 1,000 metres. We're seeing the big battle. Cliffs of Comfort up against Silken Eyes.
This is the eye versus the data, nearly.
This is the eye versus the data. I couldn't be keener on Silken Eyes. It's my best bet of the day. Comfortably my best bet of the day. I've got Missing Pro. The speed map's integral here. One thing I like to do, and it's a bit different, this is something I've done for forever and a day, is I like to go back about a horse that leads and see are they a natural straight to the top like Mervyn. Pings a gate, straight to the top, runs along. Cliffs of Comfort doesn't do that. Cliffs of Comfort takes 2 or 3 strides to find his feet and then runs along. You go back through his 3 previous victories, he's mustered to the top in races with no speed. I still think he's a very good horse, and I still think he's going to make probably the best horse in this race. But he has to cross Missing Pro. Amelia's on Fire was huge last start. If you're looking for a mad each way, then it's at nearly 20 to 1. That's probably your go. And Transgressor, surely they're going to try and ride aggressively now, you'd think. But at best, he finds the breeze. Pike rolls forward with Silken Eyes. The run against Long Beach, sitting deep But yeah, horses don't do that, you know.
Yeah,
And it was a better run than Long Beach. So Pikey just sidles up. Might even at the back of Cliffs of Comfort. That might be wishful thinking, but rest of the day.
Yeah,
Just
fair
wins.
enough.
3-1. Madness.
Yeah, I'm a massive
Trips.
I'm not going to be on Cliffs of Comfort
Okay.
first up,
I
but
just want to disagree on something. don't we?
yeah, I'm a huge Cliffs of Comfort fan. I reckon he's a like potential top liner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you
Over
said,
1,000. You
I
think
will
he'll be
give-
as
sorry, I will-
successful
I
as the
will
1,200.
disagree with you on his last 2 wins have been like they've flown in that. I reckon he's a horse that looks like he's not going that fast, but they're actually flying. On the hunting form data, they're showing
And
like
we're talking the first 50 to 80 metres of the race, how
Yeah,
long it takes him to get there. Once he's up and going, I think he'll be a better horse over 12, 1,400 than 1,000 because I think he can sustain that pace for a longer period of time. Over the 1,000, if Silken Eyes has his back and they're sprinting and there's only 2 lengths in it from the 400, there's only one winner, especially with WP on him. Old Willie Pick, going for his 7th of the day.
Yeah.
So
No, exactly. I have my reservations about 1,000. I thought his trial was actually really good because if you look back to when before he debuted,
Yeah.
he was sort of off the bit then as well, chasing Boston, who still has
what was that over the 1,000 as
over
well?
the 1,000, but still, who Boston still hasn't broken through with his maiden. But now you,
Did we hop in on that Calgary?
I didn't,
At
but
the
I've
fence?
definitely
Yeah,
hopped
we
into
have.
it
You actually
before.
hopped in here, didn't you?
Yeah.
Just
Bit of a tease horse. But there's no qualms in lowering your colours to free traders. Probably going to start, single figures in the railway. So I thought his trial was really good. Definitely 1,000's a slight concern, and so is the map. It'll be interesting to see what Joey does. Whether he just
it'll be mad.
So reckon will he just go for the front?
100%.
Yeah,
100%. I'll be very disappointed, especially if there's any bias. If Missing Pro, those 3 horses I mentioned, don't kick up and at least hold him to a breeze. If he crosses and finds a rail with minimal fuss, big trouble for Silken Eyes back, as I'd suggest. But on paper, he shouldn't be doing that. So yeah, I'm super keen. I've marked Silken Eyes $1.95 here, Crip.
Yeah, okay.
I know that's thin. I know that's a little bit thin.
You marked that just so you made sure you
Yeah, I think I did that.
Now, I marked Cliffs of Comfort 240, Silken Eyes 360.
Could have had that's good differential.
Could have had them a bit closer together, but and in saying that, I think there's better than 240 for Cliffs of Comfort, which I won't be stepping into. So yeah, no bet race for me, but toss of the coin, Cliffs of Comfort.
Alright, Silken Eyes best of the day.
Alright.
Crip, what's your best?
I'm gonna go with hands down. Slightly,
Zero.
slightly ahead of Dark Mission. Dark Mission, I marked them nearly similar. One's 230, one's 230, one's 260. But if I had to give you a winner, I reckon hands down is the winner of the day.
It does just map the winner.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll be playing both of them for sure.
No exciting value today, guys, but I reckon you can just about whack the 4 of them together and we should be looking pretty good. What do you reckon? We can't really tip one winner at the moment. We might try and knock the 4 in a
I'll
row.
just be trying to get one before we get 4.
Before we get 4,
yeah.
Can't be far away. Guys, thanks for joining us again. I'll be at the races on Saturday again. Come say hello if
Back
you're
now.
around. Yeah, I'm going to footy.
yeah,
Go watch the Eagles dismantle the Catters. Then we'll have, is it Eagles Carlton the following week?
Yeah, I might be getting close.
So yeah, well, that might be. We might have a couple of
with it.
sideways
Side
going
bet,
on there. So go the Budgies, and remember, as always, gamble responsibly.